Hey, everybody, welcome back. I am Marshawn Olano. I am a shift relationship strategist where I help Black Christian women to shift their mindset, shift their perspective, and shift the way that they're showing up. Now, let's jump into today because today we're talking about the 5 reasons why men fear relationship and absolutely marriage. The first one is his autonomy flying away, right? So autonomy is when he is being influenced, i.e. controlled by, specifically in this instance, his partner, his wife, his spouse, his girlfriend. And he does not want to feel like he has to check in all the diggity doggone time before he does the things that he truly wants to do. He wants to feel like, okay, I can wake up today. I can just do exactly what I feel like doing without having to check in. And so if you feel like just because he's off that day or off all of those days that he should give you every single waking moment of his day, you are going to be in a world of trouble because there's absolutely going to be some pushback. It is going to be like you're going to be feeling like you're in a tug of war, and at some point you're going to lose because he is either going to drop off the face of the earth, i.e. ghost you, or he's going to just keep telling you what you want to hear, meanwhile still doing what he wants to do, and then you're ending up in a frustrated state more often than not. So if you don't try to control him, you don't have to worry about this thing. The second thing that men fear, or the second reason that men fear relationships, is women or his woman trying to change him. Men don't want to feel like they are need to be changed, let alone her trying to change him. The truth of the matter is, ladies, please come in and listen to this. The truth of the matter is this: the only person that you can change is you. You are the only person that you can change. You will never be able to change him, because the truth of the matter is, a person, your man in this case, the only way he's going to change is if he wants to change. The only way he is going to lose weight is because maybe your change is you don't like his body. Okay, cool. So maybe, and just maybe, he will change his physique, but he's not doing it for you. And if he starts to do it for you, he is absolutely going to revert back, because he has to do it for himself. He cannot do it for you. We only change because we feel that we need to change. We're never going to change because you want me to change. In this case, your spouse changing for you. He may do it for a little while, but it never works. This is why when I hear couples go to therapy or couples counseling where the one party never changes, it's because he was only going, and I'm saying he, but it could have been a she. He's only going to placate you for the moment. He may change the things that you're asking him to do, but after a few months and even sometimes weeks, he reverts back and continues to do the things that he was doing prior to what you ask him to change. It's because it's not innate. It is not something that he wants to do. So yes, he wants to please you, but that's not something that he wants to change. You want him to change, but he doesn't want him to change, so he's never going to change. Please gather that. Please suck that all in, take it all in, because he's never going to change for you. He's only going to change for him. So that's the second thing that men fear. The top third reason that men fear relationships as well as marriage is because of the disrespect. Men want to feel respected in all aspects of their life, and especially from the woman that is on his arm. If he's feeling disrespected, you will notice that there is a disconnect in your emotional connection. And you may feel like he's shutting down on you, because he is. He is. He's shutting down on you. He's feeling disrespected. He's feeling undermined. He's feeling like his opinion doesn't matter. He's feeling like his voice doesn't matter. This happens a lot when I'm talking to a married man in my coaching. What happens is that he is expressing this part specifically when it comes to the child or children. He may tell the child or children one thing and then they run to you and then you undermine them, or just allow the child to do the very thing that he said that they could not do. So he doesn't feel like his voice is being heard, and he absolutely feels like he's being disrespected. It may be that you're going to your girlfriends and he can even hear you talking bad about him. Disrespectful. It could be the way that you are using this lash, your tongue, towards him, on him. Disrespectful. Right? And don't get it twisted. Women need to be respected. However, men look at being respected like we look at love. We need love. Men need to feel respected. And truth be told, a lot of people don't realize that there is a connection with him being disrespected and him not being able to perform in the bedroom. Anyway, yeah, something to ponder. Something to ponder. All right. The fourth reason why men fear relationships is not having sex enough. Not having sex enough. He wants to feel like he can have sex, but not just with anybody. He wants to have it with you, which is why he chose you. But the thing about it is, this is another thing. This is another secret that you can take and learn from, because I'm hearing it from the married men specifically. He not only wants sex from you, he wants to feel needed and loved and wanted by you. You can show him that you want him in the form of you initiating the sex. Yes, you initiating the sex and not always waiting for him to come to you. You rolling over in the middle of the night and waking him up instead of him always doing it. Or in the middle of the day. Or after the kids go to bed. Or you fill in the blank. But being spontaneous enough to not only say it and or just go and do it. You can say it and do it, right? That's sexy. That's a turn on. But it's even hotter to just go and do it. Have more sex. Men fear that they're not going to get as much sex as they once got, from the tiger that they met to the mama that she is now. And can I just throw you some free information? Yes, thank you. When we're in relationships and in marriages and we do have our babies, we have our children, we have not everybody, have a tendency to start calling your spouse mom and dad. That actually, and research is actually just catching up with this, but that is a way to decrease the sex drive in both of you. Because subconsciously, if I, as the person who had the child with you, now you're calling me mom and I'm calling you dad, subconsciously I'm like, oh, I'm about to sleep with my dad. Oh, I'm about to sleep with my mom. It decreases the sex drive. So that pet name that you had before, start calling them the pet name. And when your child is around, don't call them mom or dad. Call them by their name. You don't have to call them the pet name in front of your child or children. Call them their name. Sean. Don't say mom. Say Sean. Because then you start actually seeing her as mom instead of the sex kitten. So instead of calling him dad, call him whatever the pet name is, and in front of your children, call him his name, not dad. Raise that sex drive. Raise it. The sexual attraction to one another can be raised by just changing your language. The fifth and final thing that men fear about relationships and getting into one, i.e., and not limited to marriage, is him not being able to provide for you. Him not being able to provide. Let's just leave it there, because it could also be providing for himself. It could be providing for, now he got this new woman. Dang. Oh. And then maybe y'all have a child or 2 or 5. And he's like, holy cannoli, what the H? So they also have a fear of providing for and being that person that the family depends on to make ends meet. These are the 5 reasons that men fear getting into relationships and or a marriage. I'm Marshawn Olaniyo, your favorite shift relationship strategist. Listen, if you need some help, there are some links down in the description box area. Go ahead and check out the links so you can get in contact with me. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And I will see you in the next video. Deuces, y'all.